Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. This is the third and last panel for Asian Wave Alliance Brooklyn Forum. I want to welcome Vito Labella and Ying Tang. They are both running for the District 43 Republican primary. We're just going to get right into it. The first question, which was sent to you in advance, is why are you running for this seat? You have 1 minute to respond to this question, and Vito, you go first, and then Ying.
Thank you. So less than 3 weeks ago, the Republican conservative candidate for this office declined due to family reasons. Based upon my 32 years of institutional knowledge within the NYPD in various roles of responsibility, based upon my over 10 years of work, both working with the DOE and opposing their practices as an activist, as well as my Senate run last year, where I came within a few hundred votes of victory in pretty much the same area as the 43rd Council District, as well as my work between January and April with Assemblymember Lester Chang, servicing the community that this area represents. Because of all of those things, Assemblymember Lester Chang, the chairs of the Brooklyn GOP and conservative parties, as well as the chair of the Asian Republican Caucus, all asked me to do this. They asked me to do this because they felt that I was the best candidate to go against the Democrats in November. Thank you.
So good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming here tonight. My name is Ying Tang, a Republican candidate running for District 43. I'm a community activist, a long-time social service provider, and I've been volunteering in senior social service in the last 7 years. Ever since the pandemic, I've been working tirelessly to allocate the resources we have and distribute it to our community. I don't have the support from the party, but I have all the support from the people in the district who believe in me and who support me. I run here for the people in our district. They have faith in me. And I want to get back our safer street for our community. I want to protect our senior citizens, especially these middle-class citizens who are in the fixed income. I want to help our homeowners. I want to help our small business owners. I want to bring back a quality of life for every one of us in this room and in our community. Thank you.
So we're going right to the next question. Republicans are in the minority. Just 6 of the 51 members of the City Council are Republicans. How do you plan to make an impact on the council, as you will not have a majority to pass bills? Ying, you go first, and then Vito.
So thank you for asking. So as the same as like Asian is not the majority of this community in the New York City, but I represent it as the Republican Party because I believe that the value we represented. We are fighting for the safety, public safety. This is one thing that we are aware of. And also, I want to get back a balanced government because right now the radical left party have been taking over the quality of life of our residents. They're taking away our quality of education. They are having all this bill and release all these criminals to take away $100 of goods without any consequences. And all this policy is hurting our homeowners because the eviction process takes years to process. And homeowners are suffering right here in the city. And that's why I want to take the seat. I want to represent all the people. I want to show everyone that we as an Asian, as a community, as a united, and we also represent that we are here to make a change. Not only one party, one rules. We need more voices for the Republican policies, so we make a better balanced government.
So thank you. So it seems like I've been in the minority since Bill de Blasio got into office. We had 20 years of Republican rule where we were able to really bring the city back from the depths of despair that was the 80s and the early 90s. And what we did is we focused on things that we know worked, which was public safety, pro-business, and making sure that once people felt safe in the subways and the streets, that the other things fell into place. I will work with the Republicans as well as the Common Sense Caucus. We do have a couple of them. And if we cannot pass bills, sometimes it's not what you can pass, but what can you prevent the other side from passing. What happened was when the Senate had the bare majority, and that was only working with the individuals who were going cross purposes, they were able to stem the tide for all these progressive policies that once we lost the Senate, these progressive policies came flooding through. So I will stand up with other like-minded individual moderate Democrats, there are a few, with independents, with the Independent Caucus, with the Common Sense Caucus, and if we can't get something done, we'll bring it to the people. I have a lot of experience, 10 years of experience protesting and getting my voice heard, and I'll use that for the people of the 43rd District.
This question is on the unlicensed street vendors. In Brooklyn's Chinatown, unlicensed street vendors are occupying the entire 7th and 8th Avenue. At the end of each day, these street vendors are notorious for leaving behind their spent cardboard boxes, unsold food at street corners, and waiting for sanitation workers to pick them up late at night or the next morning. This creates a stench that attracts rodents and causes serious sanitary and health issues to the community. What would you do about this problem if elected? And for this question, Vito, you go first.
So the first thing that the Progressive City Council did was take away vendor enforcement from the New York City Police Department, and they gave it to the Department of Consumer Affairs. As a council member, we need to bring back policing to vendor enforcement. Okay, so we have to have our officers come and they have to enforce all of these rules and regulations, unlicensed peddling, unlicensed general vending. We did it for years and it worked. When they took it away from us, yeah, the guy, I can't help myself. When they took it away from the NYPD, this is what we're seeing. And we do have to do it though in conjunction with the community. I actually saw yesterday, I was speaking to a businessman in this area, and he has a petition for just what you're saying. And I would like to make sure, and I think we do, I'd like to make sure that we hear everyone's voice in the community. We need to hear about the residents along 8th Avenue, as well as the businesses along 8th Avenue, because they're definitely being put out, because they're paying taxes and insurance and utilities, and the individuals sometimes selling the same stuff right in front of them doesn't have to do any of that. That being said, I certainly would be willing to listen to how we can allow these vendors to be vetted and put in a place, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, have like a market where they can earn some living if that's what the community wants.
So this has been an ongoing issue for decades. I used to stay with my cousin right here on 7th Avenue and 57th Street. I can tell you that the whole 8th Avenue is totally crowded by all these illegal street vendors. The street has a lot of trash. Cars double parked everywhere. I could tell you that because I've been here for a long time. And I could say, as I did my petition, I talked to a lot of residents and the business owner right here. They are very concerned about this issue, but they don't know how to do the report. They don't know where to file this complaint. They don't know who they can ask help for. That is why, if I'm elected, I will make sure I'm the most reachable person to reach in New York City for our residents and for our community. I will make sure that I will help them line by line to go through all these issues. And I will help them find a place for those illegal street vendors to locate them to do the business. For those who do not have information how to get all these license and permit, I could help them to do that. I'm more than happy to assist them to do that. And also, I have one more idea. We could find a space or spot to create a more idea, just like a farmer market. So all these vendors, they can sell them products like goods, clothing, and maybe vegetables and fruits right there in our community. So we can have a better place. Thank you.
Next question. On migrants coming from the southern border, Mayor Eric Adams stood inside the Port Authority bus terminal for several nights greeting the migrants from the southern borders. In one video, he said to the migrants, "Welcome to New York," while giving out goodie bags. He stopped doing that recently and is now busing the migrants to Rockland County and other counties to the north. Do you support NYC, New York City, being a sanctuary city while receiving little federal or state aid to the migrant crisis? That's the first part of the question. The second one is that, what would be your solution to this migrant crisis? In your go first in the video.
Okay, I would say to put American first. That would be an answer. While in New York City budget, we have been cutting 4% for different departments. Meanwhile, we're putting $4 billion on these migrant services. On average, each migrant receives $5,000 to $7,000 per month per person. Meanwhile, our citizens only receive $1,000 from the SI service. I could say that sending them to the hotel or the school is not acceptable. Why our taxpayer paying all this money for the migrants to hotel or all these luxury items such as iPhone and Xbox? We have people right here struggling for the food, for the housing, for the medical services. Why we have to have all these people not living in the United States like us? We are paying all these taxes. I would say that we need to audit all this budget, where the money goes. We have to make sure that all this money are spending properly. We not, instead of spending all this on all these luxury items and unnecessary spending. We only, we need to support the basic living expenses. And I would say that I will put our people first. I would urge our federal government to stop doing this anymore. We need to stop opening the border. We need to help our people first. We need to create more employment for our people. We need to promote more resources to our people. Thank you.
Yeah, what she said. So there was an article in the New York Times. The city is paying $300 a night per room per individual for these hotels. Well, I mean, why aren't we getting a discount? Why are we spending, why aren't we getting, that's like, what is that, $300 a night, 30 nights, like $6,000, $9,000 a month? Why aren't we paying for a one bedroom something that's comparable to an apartment? Why are we buying this in bulk? There's no sense of fiduciary responsibility for the people of the city of New York. An audit is the first step. We have to really, we might have to even actually sue individuals and sue the federal government for doing what they're doing to us. They're bringing these people here and they're not giving us the resources that we need to handle this crisis. So that's the second step, and I'm not afraid to do it. I've sued the city before on behalf of the children of this district, and I wouldn't be afraid to sue the federal government if we needed to again. Thank you.
So this is, I know at least the second forum that both of you have been at, where you've heard your opponents describe what they would do if they're elected. For your opponent, name the one thing you would like to do that they would like to do that you oppose the most, and explain why. You don't need to speak about the person, but just really focus on the policy. Vito, you go first.
Well, I mean, this is like a legal question that you're giving us a legal answer. I don't know of any policies that she has that I oppose. Right? This is a Republican primary. I'm guessing that that we're going to be alike on most of the issues. I can't think of one thing that she said tonight that I disagree with. So this is about who's best to go after the Democrat nominee, and respectfully, I think that person is me. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I know that Vito has been fighting for the quality education, just like the way I do. I've been fighting for all this education since 2018. I fully support that, but I would say that quality education is not only limited to the GND program, SHAT program, and also the swim school admission. I would say that we have special needs students. They also need services. We also need to provide more resources on all these early childhood intervention program. Because, for example, my child, when he was 2 years old, he has difficulty on pronouncing some word because we have multiple language speakers in the family. And one day I went to the church. Someone referred me to the program called Early Intervention Program. That is the time that I know we have such program in our city. If I don't go there, someone not telling me, I would not know. So that means we have limited resources right here in the city to promote all these services to our children. And also, I would say that we need to put more resources and public to more people so the special needs children can get the resources they need. Furthermore, I also support the after-school program and also summarizing program. As you many parents that know here, 2 days ago, a lot of parents come to me by saying, we are not getting an offer. Many of the parents right here. Why? Because we don't have enough seat. We need to put in more seat so everyone can take the seat and study and have the resources. Thank you.
Do you feel safe living or walking down the streets in your district? Please answer yes or no before the follow-up question. If yes, why are there so many civil patrol groups out patrolling the streets of Brooklyn? If no, will you fund these patrolling groups, or is it a better idea to just fund more police officers? Inverse and Vito.
Can you repeat the question, the first one?
Do you feel safe living or walking down the streets in your district? Please answer yes or no.
Say no.
Okay, then you could answer the follow-up question. So if it's no, will you fund these civic patrolling groups, or is it a better idea to just fund more police officers?
Okay, first of all, safety, public safety is the biggest concern for our community. Not only our community, it's for the New York City. I would say that we need to fund our police officers, just like the way Mayor Adam has been proposed. We need to get more funding for them. We need to get more recruitment. Meanwhile, we can also have more petrol for the community. I realize that we have a lot of people right here in the community are willing to volunteer to be part of that program. They are willing to support and help and protect our community. I think it is a very good idea because it's the bridge between the police officers and also our community. And also, I would say that we need to protect our police officers as well.